when I first picked up my Logitech G29 wheel for my PS4, which I now use it on a PS5 and it works just fine if you're here for that. But I actually got it because of this game. I wanted it for SnowRunner, and it's amazing on SnowRunner. It does have its bugs. There are some weird things that happens, but usually you can, you know, get by with those weird things happening. But anyway, the point of this video, I was trying to figure out how to set up, you know, settings and stuff, because if you just plug this wheel in and use it with the settings that SnowRunner sets up, your arms are going to be so tired just driving around, because the wheels, the force feedback is insane. It jerks around. It's just tiring. So I did find some settings for that kind of stuff, but then trying to set up the shifter, because I have the add-on shifter that you can add on to the wheel, and it makes it really nice to shift gears because you don't actually have to use the clutch. Like, you don't have to hold L1 like with the controller. You have to hold down L1 and then use the right stick to move your gear thing around like this. But with the wheel, you don't have to push the clutch at all. If you move the shifter into the positions, it'll just shift to those gears. So it's kind of nice. So the way I have mine set up, which I'll show you this real quick, you do need to be on Common Console preset if you're using the Logitech wheel, because the only other options are Thrustmaster and Fanatec, and they don't work very well. So Common Console preset's important. Now these are the settings that I found someone else did with theirs, and I think it's comfortable. It does make your wheel a little loose feeling, like it doesn't really feel like you're driving a truck, but like I said, it's easier on your arms, if you know what I mean, with using a wheel. Force feedback and all that stuff, it's tiring when you're doing it for a while. So now this stuff I all just have off because I never felt the need to turn it on. I don't really know what it would do, to be honest. Now here's what all the buttons are for the shifter. That's not really important to know, but when you're obviously setting your buttons, you need to be in here. So anyway, the way I have it set up here is if I go to first gear, it puts me in low minus. If I go to second gear, it puts me in low. And if I go to third gear, it puts me in low plus. So the reason why I did it like that is because I was thinking if I want to be in low, I'm just going to go to the left and push down, and I'll be in low. If I wanted to be even a little slower, have more control, I could just go up to first gear and be a low plus or low minus. And then if I wanted to be in low plus, I just go to third gear. Now fourth gear is auto, fifth gear is high, sixth gear is reverse, and then this shifter also has the function where you push down, go all the way to the right, and go down, and then that's where I put neutral. You don't really ever use neutral in this game, but I just wanted to map it to something, so that's where neutral is. So, and like I said, you don't have to use the clutch to do this. You can just move the shifter in any direction to wherever you have your gears set up. But this made the most sense to me. You may not like yours this way. You may want to do yours a different way. But that's how I did it, and it works really well. So if that helped you, let me know. And if anyone ever asks me again on one of my old comments from a year or so ago on Reddit, I can have this video to link them to help them set theirs up, because that's the reason for this. I had someone ask me, and I had to, from memory, try and tell them where I set mine, because I hadn't played this in a couple months now. Maybe I'll come back to this sometime. I do already have all the trophies, but I still haven't finished all the areas, like all the DLC areas, so maybe someday. But that's how it is. So quick recap: first is low minus, second is low, third is low plus, 4 is auto, 5 is high, 6 is reverse. Push down, go to reverse on the shifter, that's neutral. And also, something to note, you can put it in a gear, like say I go to low, I can put it back to neutral and it stays in low. So if I put it in auto, I can just bump it back up to neutral, it stays in auto. So that way you're always, like, it's something I would do. I would shift to a gear and then I'd put it back to auto, so I was always at a center starting point, so I always just knew where I needed to go. just by feel, essentially. But anyway, if you've ever driven a stick, you kind of just know where the gears are anyway. But this isn't a traditional gear setup because it's not just first through sixth and whatever. It's just, anyway, it makes sense to me, and it'll make sense to you if you set yours up this way, or whichever way is comfortable for you. So if you watched this rambling video, thank you. Another thing I want to note is if you are using a wheel on SnowRunner, you want to have a controller on as well. And another reason why it's important to have Common Console preset is because the little, on the Logitech wheel, there's like a circular button that has like it looks like the enter button on a keyboard, like the symbol on it with the arrow. If you push that, that opens the map. But if you don't have a controller on, you can't move around the map. So that's why it's important to also have a controller so you can move around the map and use the controller for that function. I mean, all the buttons on the wheel will still work here. Like, you can still, you know, navigate this way, but you just can't move your cursor around or zoom in on anything. So it's another important thing to note. You have to have a controller on in order to be able to use the map. And it does switch seamlessly. Like, if I'm using the controller here, you see the buttons on the side. It says like R1, L1, whatever. If I touch anything, pedals, shifter, any button on the wheel, it automatically switches to the wheel. So just something to note. And that's it. See you later.